Divine love and many blessings to each and every one of you out there, all of you beautiful souls. Welcome and welcome back, my dear light workers and my radiant family of light. If you're feeling that inner glow right now, that gentle pull, that knowing that there's just so much more to you than this physical form, then you're exactly where you're meant to be. Because today, I'm going to go in deeper about the truth that heaven has been talking to me about for years, to teach all of you why we really are made of pure, radiant, crystalline white light.
Shadows twist where the lantern fades. Stone walls whisper ancient dreams. Boots echo loud in the hollow air. I'm not alone, but no one's there. Step a gamble, every breath a cost. What was gained might soon be lost.
This message is especially for all of the beautiful souls who feel that inner glow and know there's more to us than meets the eye. As I teach at my school, the Church of I Am, at illuminationofmetatron.com or MetaMystics, and I also share it in my blogs at alurasangels.com. This reality is not really as it seems. There's so much more going on here than your wildest imagination, and nothing around you is truly real in the solid, permanent sense. It's even more of an illusion, more dreamlike, as time itself speeds up. Just look at how fast time is flying by. Recently, my 8-year-old little girl looked up at me and said, "Mommy, when I go to sleep 1 minute and the next I wake up, I'm in school." And in a flash, the whole day's over and I'm back home eating dinner and getting ready for bed again. It feels like I've missed so much. And, that's pretty heavy wisdom coming from such a small little kid, right? Many people try to explain this away by saying, "Oh, it's just because you're getting older," but that's not the full truth. If a little kid can notice it, then obviously not. The time is accelerating dramatically for everyone right now, children, adults, elders alike, because we are deep in what the heavens call the quickening. And here is the beautiful, profound connection that so many have been missing. In the Bible, this acceleration of time, this speeding up of time and events is exactly what's referred to as the rapture. Not the selective fear-based snatching away of souls that some of the traditions teach, where only certain faithful people are removed before tribulation while others suffer. No, my loves, when you really awaken and you look with spiritual eyes, you see the rapture as something far more inclusive, far more loving, and unfolding right now as this vibrational quickening is happening. So let me explain a little bit more, a little gently and clearly, how everything aligns. Across the world's sacred traditions, looking at all religions, we see the same pattern, and it's painted in all of these many different colors. In Hinduism, we are in the final stages of Kali Yuga, the age of moral decline, quarrel, illusion, and it ends with the arrival of Kalki, the 10th and final avatar of Vishnu. And he appears riding on a white horse to destroy evil and restore dharma or righteousness and bring about the great dissolution called Pralaya, a cosmic reset, after which there is this brand new golden age. This is not a selective escape, though. It's renewal. It's a speeding up of an entire cycle so that truth can return. When we look at Islam, the end times are not about believers being taken away beforehand. Everyone, believers and non-believers, remain on earth through major signs. There's the appearance of Mahdi, the return of Jesus, Isa, to defeat evil, and the release of Gog and Magog and great tribulations. All face this universal day of judgment together, yet in some beautiful Islamic traditions, there's also mention of a final pleasant or cooling wind near the very end that causes the peaceful, gentle death of those who are remaining true believers. They can leave. Only the unawakened are left to kind of face the final cataclysm, if that makes sense. The wind, it's the breath of the divine. It's truth sweeping through, awakening the light within. We see that happening today everywhere. People are becoming more aware. But in Christianity, many people were taught something else. They were taught that the rapture comes prior to the tribulation, so the faithful don't have to endure hardship. But if you are truly awake right now, look around you and open your eyes and open your heart. The world right now is at its worst moral condition that it's ever been in. And yes, okay, every generation says that, but the specific signs given in scripture here are undeniable in fullness. The Bible itself lists the clear signs of the end times and the quickening, such as talking about wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There's famines and pestilence. We're talking about earthquakes in diverse places, increasing in frequency and intensity. And I've even added that in my predictions too. There's perilous times that the Bible mentions where people are lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters and proud. And this is quoting the Bible, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. These are people that break their truces. They're false accusers, incontinent, fierce, and people that hate those that are good. They're traitors, heady, high-minded lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. And that comes from the book of 2 Timothy. There's lawlessness abounding and the love of many just growing really cold. That's in the book of Matthew, chapter 24:12. The false prophets and false Christs deceiving many. That's happening, even using the name of Jesus to hide darkness, and knowledge increasing rapidly while moral decline accelerates. And then there's the gospel being preached all throughout the world. And we're not talking about just one religion's gospel. We're talking about the truth. But there's also division, too, to follow that also. These are the birth pains intensifying. And they do match exactly what heavens showed me years ago in 2018 and 2019 especially. And I know I talk about this all the time, but my angelic herald prophecies on alurasangels.com through channeled messages from angels like Archangel Michael, Ariel, Uriel, and others, I was shown and I publicly shared predictions such as a new devastating virus and plague unlike any before to sweep the world in 2020. It was hard to heal, causing widespread fear, isolation, and aggression, and we had that, and that was COVID. Global quarantine and lockdowns, COVID brought that. Economic collapse and major financial upheaval, that came with COVID also. There was predictions of spikes in homelessness and poverty, worldwide protests, civil unrest, and riots erupting, especially after the pandemic. I also foresaw extreme weather, relentless tornadoes. I mean, we've had so many in great frequency, hurricanes magnified in intensity, wildfires, fire galore, and these are like really unpredictable patterns, but I predicted them. And it's showing us things are moving faster. I also predicted moral decline, hidden corruptions being exposed, the Epstein files, society unraveling into chaos, and even religious movements being misused as masks for darkness. We see that with the Christian conservative movement. Most of them are a part of the Epstein files, You can go to my website right now and search Angelic Herald, or go on Grok and say what predictions on alurasangels.com have come true. And it will actually verify the timeline. In 2019, messages that I wrote specifically said that the virus and quarantine would hit hard, followed by economic issues, homelessness, and global protests. And everything unfolded exactly in that order starting in 2020. Post-pandemic, we saw the Epstein files, like I said, and other exposures revealing layers of corruption, through this Christian conservative movement. So how can that be the one true gospel? There's so much evil being twisted and hidden behind the face of Jesus, and then society descending into deeper moral confusion and craziness. And all of this is precisely as foretold by the Bible and by my predictions. I thank God that the pieces are aligning so clearly now, but here is the most important truth. God is not biased. God is not one religion only for salvation. Why would he pick one religion for good souls when there are good souls everywhere? The divine is infinite love, and the quickening is for all who awaken to their true nature. That white horse in Revelation 19 when Jesus returns, or the same symbol as Kalki's white horse in Hinduism, it represents speed, the rapid acceleration of divine truth entering the world. And that divine truth is meant to dissolve illusion at an ever faster rate. The cooling wind in Islamic tradition, well, it's the gentle breath of remembrance, lifting souls into the light. These are not symbols of exclusion or punishment. These are signs of the quickening itself. It's just time compressing and the veil thinning, and humanity being invited through it to just remember that they're beings of light. So what are we really? Well, if you've seen my 6-dimensional video, then you already understand how each dimension has its very own vessel. It has its own way of holding the experience, and I'll link it in the end, but our bodies, follow the same divine principle. They are intricate, temporary containers for our eternal essence. When you zoom all the way in past visible skin, through the microscopic level down to the atomic and subatomic, everything really reveals itself as mathematics in motion, vibrating patterns, beautiful sacred geometry, waves of pure information flowing like a cosmic symphony. Nothing is truly solid. It's all energy, and it's dancing in this perfect mathematical harmony, guided by the divine blueprints of sacred geometry that shape every atom, every single cell, every single thought. Sacred geometry is the foundational language of creation, the patterns through which the divine expresses form from the formless. It's so beautiful. You have to think of the flower of life, the ancient interlocking pattern of circles that form, the perfect hexagons and beyond, containing the seed of life, the egg of life, or Metatron's cube, and the infinite building blocks of existence. These are not just pretty designs. Some people thought they were, but they are really the energetic templates that underpin galaxies, flowers, seashells, or even your body. Our DNA spirals in a double helix that's perfect in mirror to the golden ratio and Fibonacci sequence, the same proportions that govern the growth of sunflowers and the curve of galaxies and the unfolding of life itself. The ratios, even when you look at our limbs, our skeletal framework, the flow of energy through our chakras and meridians, they all align with these beautiful divine codes. Our skin is not one simple barrier. It's like 7 layered screens, and the epidermis with its 5 sublayers, the dermis beneath, act as veils that contain these incredible micro universes inside of us, while letting us interact with this shared dream that we call reality. At our core, we are crystalline light. Our bones are built from crystals arranged in beautiful twisted patterns, and they conduct energy like living quartz. The pineal gland, our third eye, holds tiny calcite crystals that act as antennas for higher frequencies and divine downloads. Even when you look at our cell membranes, they behave like liquid crystals, transmitting light and information effortlessly. Our nerve endings are sacred transducers, turning sounds, touches, sights, and vibrations into electrical signals. They're pathways of light that rush to the brain. Consciousness weaves itself there together through synchronized waves, merging with informational codes stored in our DNA like living crystal library imprinted with the blueprint of our soul's journey. And this brings us to the breathtaking bridge between science and spirit, quantum consciousness. Our awareness is not merely a byproduct of firing neurons. It emerges from a quantum realm itself. Deep inside every cell, especially the brain cells, are microtubules, tiny crystalline cylinders of protein arranged in sacred geometric arrays, really. And these act like quantum computers, just holding superpositions of multiple possible states at once, vibrating in coherence within the warm living environment of the body. Then comes the magic moment of objective reduction, where these superpositions collapse, not randomly, but through gravitational influences on space-time itself, creating discrete flashes of conscious awareness. It's just amazing how that all works. And each collapse, it really does sync with the brain waves, the gamma rhythms weaving our unified sense of self from the quantum foam. Spiritually, this is the divine breathing life into form through quantum whispering, kind of, if you think about it. We are entangled with the entire cosmos, non-local, connected beyond space and time. And this explains those mystical moments of oneness when the veil thins and we can touch the infinite. Emerging research on biophotons, the ultra-weak streams of light every cell emits, quantum effects in photosynthesis, and studies on microtubules during anesthesia all keep the door wide open. People can turn your consciousness off. It's crazy. Consciousness is not emergent, it's fundamental. It's the light that illuminates all. So why does the brain seem so focused on the physical world then? Well, why does this illusion feel so convincingly real? Well, from the spiritual perspective, the brain is a divine filter, a reducing valve for consciousness. Imagine the vast infinite ocean of universal awareness, pure white light, boundless in potential. If we experience all of that at once while in a physical body, no one would be able to function here. And so the brain narrows that infinite stream into a focused beam, which allows people to incarnate and learn through contrast, light, dark, happiness, and hardship, and they evolve. Hopefully they evolve, It gives everyone the gift of being an individual so they can rediscover unity. But the brain prioritizes survival, and it detects danger, finding food, forming bonds, filtering billions of bits of information per second down to what's useful for its density, And that creates the shared consensus reality of solid objects, linear time, and cause and effect. But its masterful adaptation is kind of like a prison, no one gets out. And they've been here on Earth for so long. But as people awaken in the quickening, they can train the brain through meditation, prayer, intention, and aligning with sacred geometry to expand that filter. Neuroplasticity allows rewiring. You can begin to perceive more light. Quantum coherence in microtubules can be enhanced, and you can start to influence reality through observation itself. As people, though, we literally glow with inner streams of light carrying messages of healing and unity, and people just don't see that anymore, and it's really sad. Walk through this world as walking light beings, co-creating this beautiful shared dream through senses. But peel back any layer and really it's all white, divine eternal light, structured by perfect geometric codes. And this, everybody, is how it all ties together with the rapture and the quickening in the end, because the acceleration of time is the veil thinning. The signs we see, the moral decline, the exposures, the chaos are the old illusion breaking, and they're breaking down so the new can emerge. The rapture is not a physical evacuation for a select few. It's the collective and personal awakening of those who are looking to go into their true light nature. It's frequency rising so rapidly that linear time compresses and the brain's reducing valve opens wider. And people can remember that they're eternal light beings expressing through temporary vessels. Evil does not need to be destroyed by external force. It dissolves naturally in the presence of embodied light, just as darkness vanishes when the sun rises. The white horse rides swiftly now. The cooling wind is already blowing gently for those whose hearts are open, but you have to be open. You are that light. You always have been. The quickening is not something to fear. It's an invitation from the divine for people to return home to their true self. Remember that. Embody that. Align with sacred geometries within you every moment of the day through meditation, through love, especially unconditional love, through choosing light in every moment and goodness. The signs confirm it. The rapture is unfolding right now as we speak. I'll link the other videos at the end, but I hope you can go further down the rabbit hole with me. Thank you for watching. Divine love, many blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you for shining with me. You are all so beautiful. You're so loved and you're powerful and so ready. So keep glowing. Until next time, be brighter than ever. Bye.